Rob also chose Dr. Giggles, and that's what won. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so he's
it
about to
was
go back
way
to
ahead
the.
when I
All right.
voted. It was like far ahead.
I know.
I
Yeah, it
never
was like 9-4 to 2 or something.
I never vote for my own shit, but in this case I did. All right, 5,
Oh, I
4,
always do.
3, 2, 1.
God almighty.
You bitch! You bitch! Ah!
Hello, and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Hockman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scoot and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we still doing this after we did Manos Hands of Fate?
Because we're trying to find something worse.
Yeah,
Now
I like that answer.
I
Nice.
I'd say like production wise and compositionally and like satire wise, 1980s Mother's Day set out what it tried to do. That made no sense. It successfully accomplished what it tried to do. I just woke up. But it is an awful movie. Because what it's trying to do is absolutely morally reprehensible. Bob, how are you? Do you want to talk about this rapey little jaunt that we're about to
I
go
do.
on?
It's interesting you chose that word as the beginning of my alliteration. So let's do it.
Hey, Bob's about to do one of his famous movie explanations.
What? Where? What? Come on, man, out with it. We haven't got all day to wait.
Just over there.
All right.
All right. So the description of this movie in alliteration form is rapey rubes run around ruining roommates' restful respite.
That's great.
and to describe that a little less alliterationally, a deranged and violent mother trained her two, and I'm going to put this in quotes, awful offspring. She trained them to rape, hurt, and kill young women, and apparently behead young men. And
not great.
usually good movies have succinct descriptions, and this is an exception because that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Let's
I mean,
talk
Yeah.
it's a ripoff in my opinion, but we'll talk about that later. Do you
Yeah.
want to throw it to you comments for now?
Sure. Can I tell you what my description is real quick?
Yeah.
This is Deliverance meets Porky's.
Okay. I like
All
it.
right. Here's the YouTube comment.
And remember, my friend,
Poo Poo and Pee Pee on YouTube!
will affect you in the future.
All right. Mixed bag on the trailer comments. There was not a pay version on YouTube. One of the most effed up movies ever made. When horror was actually horror. The infamous ending gives me chills till this day. Back when trailers basically show the entire movie. This brings back so many memories. I love this movie as a kid. Now we're getting into the beefier ones. Summer of '85, we jumped on the D train and left Flatbush to head up to the Deuce. This movie was playing in one of those seedy, smoke-filled theaters with the sticky carpet. This shit was entertaining as hell. Comes on VHS 3 years later. Mom and pop video rental stores are what's happening now. Uncle and I had a ritual of watching a movie at midnight. The trees are burning. We're feeling the buzz, and my uncle was constantly screaming out loud, "Oh shit, you that shit?" This movie was one of those movies. This movie needs to be streamed on cable. Period. Next comment.
Wow. Yeah.
I remember my mom turning this on because it was on TV Guide and Mother's Day, and we didn't know anything about it. I almost thought that maybe I had dreamed this movie up, but there was no way I could have come up with something so twisted at a young age. I first watched Mother's Day back in 1981. The film scared the hell out of me. A week later, I got my dad to rent the VHS again from the video store. Mother's Day became my all-time favorite horror film. Thank you, Charles
my God.
Kaufman, for making such a classic horror film. Man, this movie right here, OMG, when Queenie jumped over the bushes, I lost my fucking mind. We should have not been watching this at 13 years old. And there's one more that's cut off. Let me just grab that real quick on a better document. This film is downright fucking scary and is indeed one of the greatest cult horror classics ever made, if not one of the best horror / thriller / grindhouse films from the 80s in general. It was remade under the same title, though, in 2010. And there's nothing left on that comment. They didn't have to mention the remake if they weren't going to say anything about it. But that's what we got. That's where we're at.
That is
Mother's
true.
Day.
Why did they bring that up?
That's what the
I don't
public
know.
thinks
It's
about it.
like most of the people are dead wrong, and that sucks for you, Rob, because you're going to have to use the YouTube comments to guide your Rotten Tomatoes guess in test
Yes.
number 1, the worst of its kind.
The airplane, the telephone, the electric light, the vitamins, radio, and even television.
It's the worst of its kind.
All right.
Graduation Day with Christopher George, a 57.
Okay.
Anybody seen that one?
Nope.
No.
Me neither. Pieces with Edmund Purdom, 43.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely seen it.
Not ringing any bells.
And
It's on the same level as this, like 100%.
okay, so
Okay.
it makes sense. Dead and Buried with James Ferrantino is 68.
Okay.
Nope.
Wolfen with Albert Finney, 77.
Yeah.
All right.
And Phantasm with Michael Baldwin, a 74.
I hear that's
Yes.
really good. I have not seen it though.
It's okay.
All right.
Well, so I guess that's an average of 63.8 somehow. And what did Mother's Day do?
80.
Wow.
80%.
I'm going to go low, way low, like 12.
It actually had a 46. What the fuck? For a
Wow.
negative 17.8 and not worst, because the worst of those was Pieces, the one that you've seen.
Yeah.
So somehow it's not even the worst, but it is negative 17.8. Let's throw it to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
Mm-hmm.
How about that kinky sex?
I can't resist your charm, Danny boy.
Wow. What a pitch. Who goes first?
I went first last time, so somebody else.
I
Okay.
went last time, so maybe I'll go first.
Oh, all right.
Bob,
Or
Chris,
what do you wanna
Rob.
do?
Sure.
Sure.
Cool.
All right. Mother's Day. For this podcast, this movie is well suited, and in the depths of trashy hell, it is rooted. Backwoods brothers beset babes, while mama gives them accolades. And if punk sucks, disco is stupid.
All right. That's pretty good. All
Check
right.
out the movie so that you know what that means. Or might we fill you in soon? A
All right.
woman and her evil sons are so out of touch. They let kidnapped women escape their clutch. But they go back because you don't fuck with the Rat Pack. And why did Ike dive and go so much? I said,
All right.
I probably cut out.
A little bit. You clipped
Yeah.
out just a little bit.
So he
All
goes,
right.
only like really loud.
Sing
Dodged at first at things.
on SpongeBob when it's like lee.
Yeah, exactly. But
right.
that's how we open the show. So check
Yeah.
out the YouTube if you want to see him do it. It's the funniest part of the whole
You
movie.
bitch. You bitch.
Well, it's the transition from to whoa. He suddenly realizes that he just like dove downhill. Oh my god, I was dying laughing.
And
I
that
don't
was
think
like
I
the last-
supposed to be.
That was the last 12 inches of tape they had, so they just had to keep it. All right.
Whoa.
The Rat Pack goes camping in New Jersey. What could possibly go wrong in New Jersey? They get raped and tortured by male disco and punk whores. That's what you get for camping in New Jersey.
I mean, that's totally fair.
That was absurd.
It was.
Team win?
I'll take it. That ensures
Okay.
that I win. So, all right, team win. A team what?
4.
4.
Yeah,
Team 4.
I like a team 4.
All right.
Team 4. Let's throw it to test number 3, the most offensive.
Sure.
The
sky to which she had once looked was now only a covering for her.
Diarrhea.
The most offensive.
Hey, why don't we just ask the audience who won the pitch, and
We can do
then
that.
and then pray that people answer us. Of the hundreds of listeners, the thousands,
Yeah.
millions at home that listen to this show,
Yes.
you'd think that people would be emailing us constantly or responding to our polls, which they do. They do respond to our polls. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe
Yeah.
they can tell us who they thought won going forward. Well,
And
and
then
that'll
we'll,
be fun for me to hear that I win in the next week.
Yeah, but we need it in real time though, if to score the movie. Therein lies the problem.
Damn it.
Hmm.
Well,
Huh.
no. Yeah, you're right.
No, we just eliminate that test and then we tally it up at the end of the season. And then I don't know.
We could do that.
There's options.
I don't
There's
know.
things we could figure out.
It just got too complicated. You're right, Rob. Fuck me. I just want the whole audience to tell me I'm right. That's all that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, number 5. One woman wields the word taco in this movie.
Taco?
Yeah, she says, "Let's set up a taco stand over here," and that deeply offended me.
Oh, that's a Jersey thing. They say carrot and like baron and like they you don't have aunts, you have ants.
Do they say Mario?
Sometimes, probably.
Like, I was playing Mario World yesterday.
I make fun of my mom all the time. I'm like, I want a frozen pizza. Do they have any Red Barons at your grocery store? And she's like, fuck you, Rob. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, see, I told you, offensive. Number 4, I'm calling this the Riga-more-kiss. Or locking lips with your bestie's limp lady body.
With your lip, what? Locking lips with what?
With your bestie's limp lady body.
Ugh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you said.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Riga-more-kiss.
Yeah. Ew.
Number 3, wanton destruction of small business, and then hightailing it on the hick, whose hut is now all higglety-pigglety.
Yeah, the corner store.
Yeah. So the first girl goes in, like the one that I think gets raped and murdered. She goes in and she's like gathering fruit to buy, and then her friends come in masks and wielding baseball bats, and they're not doing anything violent, but still destroying the entire store, and then they just leave without helping him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
No, I don't even think they paid for what's in her hands. So maybe stealing as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ruin a catch-all. I thought it was overstocked and trepidatiously stacked produce for a corner store.
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy
you
can't
have
be
a
busy
point.
enough to sell all that shit.
Can you call it a bodega blunder?
You could.
All right.
It was a backwoods bodega.
Backwoods bodega
was.
blunders. Okay.
Yeah.
Backwoods bodega
New Jersey
blunders.
Bayou Backwood Bodega Blunder.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Number 2, sexy strangulation surprise by slouch of a sex partner. So right there in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if you guys have noticed anything. The boyfriend in the beginning sneaks up and like kidnaps basically the girl like before she gets kidnapped, and like holds her up, and he's like strangling her, and then he's like laughing about it, and she's like, I love you, and he's like, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. After stealing from her.
Yeah.
Right, but literally nothing in this movie compares. I mean, this has been an offensive list so far. I think I've almost covered everything.
Yeah.
But number 1 is festooning your fucked up friend with foliage.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
For no reason as well.
It is weird that they buried her. It's very weird that they buried her because if they're running under the assumption they're going to get out of there alive, wouldn't they want to bring the body with them and give it a proper funeral?
Yeah. Like they're covering her in leaves and shit to disguise her, but then the other friend is just sitting with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if they come running into the woods, Ike and Adler, whatever his name is, and they stumble upon her camouflage, it's not like they're gonna run by because the other friend's right there.
Yeah.
Completely exposed.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I didn't miss a single thing.
No, not at all.
But I'm gonna ask for mentions anyway.
Pit stains.
What are you saving it for?
I'm saving it so that it doesn't win against Manos.
Well, it can be bad taste and still lose.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I mean,
I just thought it'd be really funny if I didn't mention a single thing that the mother, Ike, or Adel.
Yeah.
you know, it almost isn't bad taste for us to even mention it out loud.
Honestly, that's fair. So let's not do that until I do it later. Rob's ad read.
Oh shit! Yep. It's actually Bob's ad read this week. So give me one second.
Hey Rob, this guy wants a peek at your goods.
Permit me to see one.
Bring in the big.
Finally, it's not time yet.
Rob's ad read.
All right, here you go, Bob. It should be on your phone.
I can't wait.
I can't either.
All right. All right. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Bob Hassick's Sleepy Time Serum for Tuckered Out podcast hosts. Hi, I'm Bob Hassick, co-host and junior executive producer of The Worst Movie Ever Made. After my usual 3 a.m. glizzy gulping marathon, I'm worse for wear, but the show must go on. Just not after drinking my patented and proprietary blend of Sleepy Time Serum just hours ahead of recording a podcast episode. We all know what happens then, now don't we? Oh, sorry. Anyway, Cox, balls, dongs, and eating gluten. And Bob H signing off.
That wasn't a 10-second pause like I instructed you, Bob.
Hey, you can have 10 seconds of dead air. I should have snored.
That would have been epic.
Yeah.
But that was epic anyway. A word I used to hate people using because it was overused. But I think it's back. I think we can use it again. Well done, Bob. I'm glad that the Sleepy Time fluid or whatever it is on the podcast. Great job, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to test number 4. The worst dialogue.
When I heard this dialogue, I thought,
How can any race be so stupid?
Number 5. This is Act on It.
All right, dirtbags. Now kiss your neighbor and say thank you for sharing with me. I love you.
Thank you for sharing with me. I love you. Thank you for sharing with me. I love you.
And remember, once you go out those doors, don't stop to think about what you feel. Because once you stop to think about what you feel, you doubt what you know. And once you doubt what you know, you can assume you don't know it. Why? Because you don't act on it. Once you know what you know, you act on it.
That is not important to the movie in any way, but I had to include it.
Why couldn't it just been people like on a road trip who like pick up the lady whose car broke down?
Yeah.
But why it had to be a whole seminar? That makes no
I
sense.
totally didn't notice that line when I first. It's so all over the place. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I thought it was really funny. All right, let's throw it to number 4. Yarg. This is Dauber.
What's the matter? Can I tinkle without asking permission?
But do you always carry a knife when you take a leak?
Sure. It's a jungle out there.
What are you afraid of? Being jumped by a gang of wild Puerto Rican chickens? Look, Jackie, one weekend a year you can relax. When you're with the Rat Pack, no one dumps on you.
Hey, you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I know how to handle myself.
Oh, yeah, like with... Oh, what was his name?
Christ, don't bring that up again.
Yeah, Jackie, what was his name?
Dobson. Brad Dobson.
His name is Brad Dobson.
But everybody calls him Dauber. Dauber. What an asshole.
Goodbye, Dauber.
Need I say more?
No, you can keep pushing forward.
Number 3. A gang of Puerto Rican chickens.
Yeah.
All right, this is We Were Strong.
It just doesn't seem fair. There's a reason we survived. You just have to believe that much.
What do you mean?
We were meant to survive. We were strong, both of us. And don't ever forget it.
Jesus. That there at the end was the one line spoken by Queenie. But how fucked up is it that she's like, we were strong, we were meant to live, and our weak pussy friend who got murdered.
She's sitting right there, Chief.
I know, honestly. You're saying her body's not cold yet, and you're like talking shit about her. Speaking of Queenie, who just made their appearance on the YouTube video, Rob, where can they see that?
www.theworstmovieevermade.com. You click the one that looks like YouTube, and then it takes you to YouTube, and then you watch it on YouTube every Sunday in stereo, in color.
This movie is like this podcast that we do is almost chronological. Like we take each test one, it's almost taking you through the paces of the movie. This is a bad time to say that because Dauber ends with the, or not Dauber, We Were Strong ends with the, the Queenie at the end of the movie. But my point is, you get a lot of clips of the movie if you go to our YouTube show.
Yes.
And thanks to Rob and his hard work of editing all those clips for us. But if you want to kind of watch this movie without having to watch it, you want to laugh with us, go to, our YouTube channel.
We give you the prime nug, so you don't have to watch the whole movie. You can enjoy this podcast without watching the movie if the movie is that terrible.
That's the truth. You don't have to go through
That's the hook, line, and sinker right there, baby.
And you don't have to sit through all the boring parts that we do.
Yeah.
But what else would create such a wonderful, exciting catch-all than all those boring parts that we tear apart and make fun of? Anyway, like and subscribe, the whole deal. Gently caress it or punch it or whatever, however you like to treat your subscribe button. I don't judge.
Yeah.
Let's throw it to number 2. This is Queenie.
Adley, I just doubled you.
No, I can't with those girls out there.
Now that is Ike's job, and Ike will bring him back. Now come on, Adley, you gotta always want to play, 'cause that's polite.
Well, I want to be out there with Ike, getting the girls and stuff.
Girls, girls, girls. What about me? I want someone here with me when Queenie's on the prowl. And besides, ain't we having fun?
All right, before I want to do something here. Before we reveal the number 1 worst line of dialogue in the entire movie, I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Can we throw it to that?
Yeah, what you said, honorable mention? You cut out.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my bad.
Let me get the honorable mention. That is over. Yeah.
What's the matter with you? I said to give him the right away. He says, "Oh, Pop, I thought you said to hit him right away."
Punk sucks.
I said to go on.
Stupid.
Punk sucks.
Disco's stupid.
Punk what?
Disco's stupid.
Oh, there's your honorable mention. Not many words. Also, hard to hear, or at least my feed was. So I didn't want to include it just in case everyone had a hard time hearing it. But Bob and Rob actually both mentioned disco and punk for a reason. Apparently, the two murderous raping, pillaging pilgrims that live in the woods there fight over disco and punk.
Yeah.
Which one is better? Which, I get why Ike likes punk in the early 80s. I guess disco was still kind of alive in the early 80s.
Disco was big.
Adler or Adley doesn't look like a disco guy to me.
It was still a big social touchstone. It was like, which one?
The
it's the equivalent of like club music. You listen to disco because chicks are into it and you want to fuck them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Studio 54.
Yeah.
Kind of deal, yeah.
Yeah. No guy actually likes disco. It's just like young women of their time enjoyed it. And if you like the things they like, then they might let you touch their boob.
That's
I was
fair.
I,
I will. I will
I was
say,
hoping.
What's up, Bob?
Go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the Bee Gees are kind of fire, as the kids say. These
Their
days.
falsetto is pretty on point.
It's impressive. They're ugly, ugly, ugly men, but
Yeah.
that didn't stop them from scoring plenty of poontang back there
Yeah.
in the 70s.
Yeah.
I was hoping that they were gonna go disco sucks, punk stupid, and then say, but Kiss really sucks. And the other one went, yeah, you're right, Kiss really
High
sucks.
five.
Nice. Okay, so let's throw it now to our number one,
Daddy. You know what? Fuck it.
This is just crazy and weird. So go ahead, Animal Waste.
Thanks, I get. Okay, get out there and have fun with your brother Ike. Don't worry about me being here with nobody around.
Oh, Ma.
Adley, my sister Queenie was evil from birth. She was the most contrary baby they ever did see. Why, she was the only baby they ever seen with a full head of long white hair when she was born. And you know she broke my neck while I was still in the crib.
Yeah, but Grandma says she shot Queenie after that. Cut off her ear to prove it.
That ear don't mean nothing. I know she set Queenie loose, 'cause I seen her living like a swamp rat, feeding off animal waste and garbage and flesh. And that no more than 50 yards away from where I'm sitting right now. I saw Queenie outrace a mongrel wolf and then rip open its throat with her bare hands just so she could see it bleed. And you want to leave me here with nobody around?
Oh, Ma, I don't want to leave you alone.
Then you will never leave me. You just promise me that you and your brother will never leave me, ever.
This ended with some worst acting there too, which
Yeah.
was more difficult. I will say we've got some worst acting coming your way, but for now, let's just talk about how Queenie broke her neck when she was in the crib, and my
still
grandma
wearing-
shot her. Yeah, she's still wearing the neck brace.
She's still
Yeah.
on that race.
Yeah,
84
she's
years
like-
later. or
She's
whatever.
really leaning on that crutch.
It was so obvious to me. It was obvious that they were just building up a story as to why the boys stick with the mama, and it
Right.
just pissed me off that they ruined that whole thing by Queenie being real.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It gave her credit, and I don't
It
want to
down
give her
and
credit.
it downplays the boys'
Right.
naivety a little bit
Yeah.
because
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, you've already seen Queenie, listening audience. If you're also a watching audience, so test number 5, the worst production.
Have a good day.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Yeah. How are you gonna make this movie?
Shooting first and asking questions later.
That's
Right.
Great bumper. Love it. Okay, so worst production this week. I just said intentionally trashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This wasn't quite trauma level trash. Like trauma level is like it's tongue in cheek. It's like we're trying to be over the top, and it's supposed to be done for humor. And this was, according to the YouTube audience, actually done for shock, maybe
Right.
Yeah.
scares. So, to Rob's point earlier, there was a very loose anti-consumerism theme at play. But it's completely washed out by the over-the-top acting, the gore, the plot holes, the rape. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And while the protagonists are flawed, our Rat Pack, none
Yeah.
of them deserve to be raped and killed.
No.
But they also don't deserve to be redeemed either.
They're hardly flawed though. Like they are, but not in the sense that they aren't just regular old human beings.
Now they're flawed in the sense that like who still hangs out with people they met in college? Like fuck.
Well, the
I'm
one's
glad my
hanging
wife
on to
can't
that.
hear you.
The one's hanging on to that with that gross boyfriend, and the other one's
Yeah.
like a shallow Hollywood type who pushes around her butler, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the third one is abused by her mom. But that's not
Pushover
flawed.
and her boyfriend.
but Yeah. So
or
it's
whatever.
just
No, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
they,
Mom. Just
they
mom.
definitely have their issues that never get resolved. Like, what's the point of characterizing them at all when none of that matters?
Yeah.
You brought up Brad Doberinsky or
Oh,
whatever.
yes.
Yeah, the Dauber.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about him more. So everyone who's seen this movie that's listening, you get ready.
Yeah.
You buckle those seatbelts. We're gonna be talking about Dobby. Let's get to test number 6, the worst acting.
The saucers are up there, and the cemetery's out there. But I'll be locked up in there.
It's the worst acting.
All right, we're gonna start with number.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was just getting into it.
1.
Free.
Have a good weekend, Weston.
Yeah, sure, I'm supposed to have a good weekend stuck here in the city.
Hey, if you're free for the weekend, there's a lot going on. This is New York.
Free for the weekend? Free for the weekend? Free for the weekend? I'll never be free as long as I'm a black man in America. $1 million a day. Rockefeller makes 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 $1 million a day.
The sound design for this
There you
movie
go.
is fucking jarring, dude.
There's a little taste of this movie for you. Number 2. This is Do As I Say.
Ike, you better vote that dog good tonight.
Ma, there is nobody out there.
Now you just do as I say. Queenie's out there. I just know it.
I found that to be one of the worst segments in the whole movie. I don't know why. But worse than that, number 3. This is Ike. I can't.
Jesus, I can't. We're fucked. He's the police.
That was not Queenie.
Give away your position. That's great.
Yeah.
We'll get them. We'll get those bastards.
Oh well, that's some bad acting on the end. Had to keep that long, like weird spot where they're just like hugging each other after the blonde Hollywood one screams really weirdly. I think the single worst moment of acting in this movie came in like the form of like a 10 or 11-second clip, something like that. And it actually led to a whole category of tropes in the parody horror movie genre, which there are many now. This one's kind of an honorable mention as well, and you have to be part of our YouTube audience to even enjoy it. I'll describe it afterwards for you who was listening through Spotify or Apple or what have you. But this is number 4. This is Run.
It's like the Jar Jar Binks walk.
It's so bad. It's so crazy bad. Like she's running and flailing all of her limbs. If you've ever seen Friends, it's very reminiscent of the way Phoebe runs. So shout out to Lisa Kudrow for stealing that.
You're gonna hate
from,
this too, Chris.
Hollywood one.
There's also a
No?
Seinfeld episode where Elaine gets called out for like not knowing what to do with her hands while she's walking, so she goes to like physical
I've actually seen
therapy.
that one.
And like
Yeah.
there's a guy like learning how to walk again next to her, and she's just like trying to figure it out.
It's not the same one where she gets called out for the way she dances, right?
No, I think it's a separate episode, but it's
different.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're both equally hilarious. You should watch Seinfeld, Chris.
I should watch Bob take over with Fact or No Fact.
Asshole.
You didn't come here for crappy poo-poo facts like this.
The parts of flower are so constructed that very, very often the wind will cause pollination.
27 seconds left.
If not, then a bee or
Bob is
any
legit so
other
mad about this.
nectar-gathering creature can create the same situation.
No, you came here for some stone-cold facts from Bob, like this one.
In my land, women are for advancing the race, not for fighting man's battle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. It's hard to live in the moment when the moment is that long.
Yeah.
It ceases
How long
to
is
be a
it?
moment.
Is it a minute?
It's like 27 seconds.
Is a minute less than a minute?
Chris, bumpers are anywhere from like 5 to 12 seconds. I can't help but notice that you tend to go into 37-second to 45-second territory.
I know,
quite a bit.
and I'm the one who's given us all shit. I'm the one who's given us all shit for making too long a bumper too.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
It's fine.
I'm gonna flash back to 2021, I think it was, or 2020, when I first talked to you guys online. You wanted to like test to see if I actually listened to the show, and I said, "Yeah, your bumpers are kind of long."
yeah.
I don't know which one of you I was talking to, but I'm like, I shouldn't have said that.
Keystone apparatus. I'm guilty of.
Yeah.
Oh
like a
my
minute and a
God,
half
yeah, that was
with the
so-
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but like
Live and learn.
It was. Yeah, it was so highbrow and crazy.
Just for
back then. I
for
don't
our
even-
YouTube
I don't even
audience
wanna hear it
at www.theworstmovieevermade.com, you can see that I'm working out of a coat closet. So, we make some very misguided choices from time to time.
All right. Anyway,
It's a nice
fact or no fact, for the movie Mother's Day, I called
Yeah.
Recovery Day, which is
Okay.
Chris alluded to earlier.
Oh yeah.
Because just after watching this, we just needed something
Yeah.
in the palate.
I'm gonna
Like a
read
recovery.
Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I got 5 things here. One of them's a lie. So you gotta
Right.
find the lie. Here we go. Prior to filming, a dead body was found in the house that was used in the film.
Wow.
Okay, second
Okay.
one. The director's wife refused to let him shoot the nude scenes, so the screenwriter shot them instead. Okay, third one. This movie shares a lot of the same filming locations as the original Friday the 13th that came out the same year.
Shares a lot of the what?
Filming
filming
locations.
locations.
Okay.
Okay, the character that played Adley was so hungover from drinking the night before a scene, he actually threw up on the mother character.
Wow.
Okay.
And the last one. This film is included on Roger Ebert's most hated list. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Chris, you want to go first? Give me, shoot me in the foot
Sure.
by taking the better choice. All right.
Sure, yeah. Prior to the movie being filmed, there was a dead body discovered in the house. I believe it. But that and Friday film locations being the same can't be true then, probably. So one of those is a lie, I think. The director not being able to shoot the nudes, so the nude shoot no-no is probably true.
Nude.
Adel hungover, threw up on mom. I believe it. That guy seemed like a loser in real life too. His knees weren't as thick as Torgo's,
Yeah.
but
Hardly.
so he probably wasn't doing as much meth.
Yeah.
And then Ebert most hated. I mean, if he saw it, if he bothered to even watch it, which is why I'm not sure about this one. he would have absolutely fucking despised this movie. I know it.
Yeah.
Because Raj is an old friend of the pod. So I'm between 1, 3, and 5. Prior to the movie being filmed, a dead body was found in the house. Seems like something that's plausible. Maybe Bob's thinking that it seems like something plausible. Shares Friday film location. I'm gonna go with number 3 as the lie. I don't think it shares Friday the 13th film locations. Just because I think it's a different atmosphere.
I'm gonna say, if Ebert saw it, you're right, Chris. If Ebert saw this would be on a shit list, that's for sure. So I'm gonna eliminate that from my choice. Adley being hungover, he actually threw up on Mother. That is believable because look at him, look at her.
Yeah, true.
If I were hungover, if I were hungover and had to share a scene with her, I'd definitely Ralph on her.
She's got like you know, like in the Old West, those like steer skulls, like how they're all long and shit. I feel like she's got one of those under her skin. You know, like really long face.
Yeah.
Really strong, like jawed, long face.
Really strong.
Which I have too, but I'm a dude, so.
I'm torn on the Friday the 13th because like, isn't Silver Lake set in like California and this movie set in Jersey? But like, it's just the woods. I mean, it's believable because it's the woods.
Lake, right?
Yeah, isn't Crystal Lake? Isn't that in California?
It's in Connecticut.
Oh well, I was close. Both sea states.
True.
I mean,
you sound like me now.
Yeah. Prior to so a dead body found, like, it depends on what you mean by prior to filming. It could mean like they found a dead body in 1975, and then like 5 years later, like let's film a movie here, and then someone's like, oh, legend has it, someone died here once, or like they already booked the plot, and then they're setting up and like, oh shit, there's a dead body like right there. I don't know what the context of prior means.
That's how I took it.
Yeah. But I want to say
that's just Mother.
Yeah, that's just. I'm gonna say number 2's the lie, and here's why. Because this is Charlie Kaufman, who's like the cousin or like brother of Lloyd Kaufman, who co-founded Trauma. The version I saw on Tubi, it had the Trauma banner on it, even though it wasn't like widely distributed by Trauma, but like Kaufman's name was on it. If their depravity runs in the family, I don't see why the director's wife would not let him film nude scenes. Because like it just seems like they're just a fucked up bunch. So I'm gonna say number 2's the lie.
They are a fucked up bunch.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rob, you were right about one thing. Well, you were right about a couple things, but the one thing you said prior to filming, they did find the dead body, not long before filming, but it was like when they were like that was a real house. Like they
were scouting locations or something, and it was like a murder scene or something.
Yeah. It was like
that counts as prior though, right?
It's before,
yes. So that is a fact.
Yeah.
That was one of the like the well-known facts about that movie was that. All
right.
The director's wife refused to let him shoot nude scenes. That's from a different movie. That is not from this movie. That was the lie.
So I was right for the wrong reason. So
God damn it!
A different movie, different director.
Okay.
Totally. I pulled that from like I forget what movie I pulled that from, but it's a whole different movie.
So I got the right answer with the wrong formula, basically.
No, yeah, you got it right 100%. This
well,
did
he
share
didn't
a
show
lot of
his
the
work
same
though,
filming
Bob.
locations. What's that?
All right. I didn't show my work.
He didn't show his work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, would a math teacher accept that answer?
Not these days. No, you gotta explain.
I didn't think so.
So it did share a lot of the same filming locations as Friday the 13th, being on the lake. That made sense.
Okay.
Really? So
Adley did throw up on Mother, and yes, Roger Ebert most hated.
Nice. All right.
We knew that though, Rob. We were sure. We should have doubled down like on the truth of that statement, because then we would have had like a half team win, and then I would have gotten a quarter win out of it.
Or I'll just take the win and you shut the fuck up.
Why? Seriously.
Yeah, but you didn't. But you didn't say nude shoot no.
Yeah, that is true. You did. You really saved the day there, Chris. You should.
Yeah. All right, so we'll share this one. Let's throw it to the catch-all.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
This gives me a plan.
Time for the catch-all!
All right.
Props effects department could have done better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the severed head and Queenie, just period.
Yeah.
Most specifically, Queenie looked terrible to me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was like mostly blurry, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty blurry. Because like they
Probably
had
on
like a
purpose.
shot. They had a shot at a certain aspect ratio, and they just kept like zooming in on that shot. Like they didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't filmed in a way that was supposed to be zoomed in, and they zoomed in on that. It was like if you had a
Like
Polaroid
the
and you
pixels
just
got way bigger than.
It's
they
like if
should.
I were holding a Polaroid and then you zoomed in with your iPhone to like close up on the Polaroid. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
I'm sure it was intentional.
Yeah.
So most of the people at the seminar at that, I forget what they called that, the GOL, I forget what it's called.
EGO.
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 Yeah.
The
Ego.
seminar and the outdoor Hollywood party were all crew members because they couldn't afford extras.
That tracks.
Yeah.
All right. So like before we started talking about it on this recording just now, I thought this was a pretty effective satire. I think like whatever the movie set out to do, it did successfully. I just don't like what it did. To that point, the TV and the radio chattering in the background in the house at all times was a very nice touch because it just shows you how like routine this is for them, and I like
Yeah, you're
that.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. All right.
That
your
does
turn.
not a good movie make. But,
Yes, it does.
Time wasting brother fighting, slideshow sequences, and just girls chattering over B-roll. They should have included some of that in worse dialogue because it is totally inconsequential and just time wasting, and I found that offensive. But I didn't find it as offensive as the other things that I found offensive in this movie that I haven't mentioned yet.
All right.
So go ahead, Papa.
Oh, trope, the banjo playing trope at the corner store.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
That's good.
at the backwoods bodega, bayou.
New Jersey Bayou Backwood Bodega
blunders. Bayou Backwoods Bodega Banjo. Blunders. Okay.
New Jersey New Jersey Bayou Backwood Bodega Blunders.
Yes.
Yes.
The Rat Pack. Isn't that like Frank Sinatra and his goons?
Yes.
Isn't that what they're also called?
Yeah. Like
okay,
James
just double
Dean.
check. Yeah. Don't piss on the moon, babe. I couldn't get past that. Like, you could have come up with like a better name, like the Rat Pack.
They really needed to. Yeah. I think, and bear with me here. This 80s style music is the least good of music. I wrote.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Well, like they had to rule out punk and disco to stay authentic, so they didn't have many options.
Oh, true. Yeah, because one sucks and the other one's stupid. So.
Yeah, that one's stupid. I love the bodega owner. What he screamed. This might make my trailer. He just screamed, "Lesbians causing nobody no trouble no more. You get what you deserve in them deep barrens."
Yeah.
Wow.
And I love that my
sexual preference.
I love that my closed captioning spelled lesbians Lezbeans. Lesbians.
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 That's how you spell it without teeth. The twine on the weight machine was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, here, sit on this workout bench next to these sharp implements. We're just gonna gently tie twine around your wrists and leave you to your own devices for hours on end. Okay.
Yeah, kind of fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
Here's one of the literal catch-alls I find myself proud of, but they left 8 beer cans as a trail to get back to the car, but they only bought 6 at the bodega.
That was my next catch-all.
Yeah, but if they were having they were just re-upping on the beer. They could have had some road sodas prior. No? Maybe? I don't know. Too much credit?
Their desperation said otherwise. Yeah.
No, it was beer. I wrote beer can count doesn't compute.
All right.
Nice. I like that, Bob. I'm glad we caught the same thing.
We did.
That's a team
So
win right
since
there.
I'll skip that one, I'll go with something you probably want to talk about. That college stadium flashback with Dauber was effective, though ultimately unnecessary.
Yeah.
True. Time wasting.
Yes. Time padding.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It like belonged in a different movie.
it lets you know who the Rat
did.
Pack really is, though, right? Because it's showing their history, how their
Yeah, it
bond's
gives
so
the Rat Pack
unbreakable
some
until one gets
credibility.
kidnapped and they say they're not strong or whatever.
Exactly. So don't
Right.
stop giving too much
Then they're
credit.
like, that was the weak one.
Yeah.
That was the weakest of the three rats.
Better her than us. That fucking bitch.
She deserved to die.
Yeah.
Throw another leaf on the body.
Yeah. I kind of alluded to this already, but just they're really good at screaming and giving away their location when they could have. I understand you're frightened, but like this wasn't like an immediate fright. It was like a scream out of frustration. Like they're hiding in the woods, they're burying whoever the fuck her name is, Four Eyes or whatever, and then she just lets out a they're cops. They're the cops. It's like, yeah, now you're dead because you just gave away your location. You stupid.
Yeah, they should have been.
Fucking moron. Come on.
They should have been dead many times over, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Okay, so let's talk about Dauber again. The flashback boyfriend named Brad is 45 years old, and he has an Austin Powers level of chest hair.
He does.
It's
45
uncomfortable
years
how
old.
much chest hair that dude has.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 18. He's 5.
Yeah.
He's trying to make good on the mound, so to speak.
Yeah.
And he takes his shirt off, and he's got a carpet stapled to his chest.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And we get to watch him do nude push-ups. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
What a man's ass looks like when he's doing push-ups. That's an answer that I got from this movie. Thank you.
It's like,
Thank you so much, Mother's Day.
yeah, I can't even do it. I mean, you gotta do like that thing with the other person
Yeah.
with their hands, and
Yeah.
you do that, Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
So the two girls got caught in their sleeping bag, so they just pulled the cords and they were stuck.
Yeah.
But the other
Yeah.
one was out of her bag, so they had to put a kicking, fighting,
Yes.
screaming girl into a sleeping bag. Impossible.
And they do it
That's
no
like-
problem. They do it no problem.
There's no way that would happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
To be more realistic, they could have like knocked her out first or something like that.
Yeah. There's plenty of rocks.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of sleeping bags, the rope burn on the hands.
Yeah.
That was kind of a funny scene because the guy's like, "Duh, which way did they go?" Just trying to pull her back up. So one redeeming quality, but her hands were absolutely fucking shredded. And you're telling me that she was like running around, not bleeding out like that? That would like, there's arteries that run through your hand, man. You're done. You're fucking done.
Yeah, it was too deep.
Yeah.
Like a rope's not going to do that to you.
Well, just to save time, also they lowered the sleeping bag out the window, and then she walked in the front door to go back upstairs. Why didn't they
That's
just
one
go
of
out the
mine
front
as
door
well.
to begin with?
Yeah, but
that's
you know
mine
what?
as well. I think she unlocked it from the outside to get her out.
Oh,
But it is
I
a
think
really
you might be
funny
right.
visual to have her lowered to the outside just to run back into the same room.
Yes. But two things real quick. The flashbacks were important because they had the lowering the bag flashback, which like all of their resourcefulness ties back to like how they knew each other and how they could like get stuff done. But there's a really funny story when Kurt Cobain escaped rehab, like right before he like committed suicide.
Right, obviously.
Apparently he like climbed over the wall, but like it was like an at-will rehab. He could have just walked out the front door. But like just the idea of him like in his scrubs with like the open back flap with his butt hanging out, like just trying to hurl himself over the fence and like dump a cake and just walks out. Like, Kurt, you can
He's like He's making like a makeshift grapple from his shitty CDs.
Yeah, he's just throwing it. I like Nirvana. I know you don't, but like, yeah, he was.
I've come to understand them more in my mid-30s. I kind of get it now. I understand
now that
why
you're
they were
middle
popular, at
aged
least.
and it's considered classic rock, you have to like it.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I'm gonna like pretend like I have a deeper reason for it.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
All
right.
right. So, well, I'm gonna combo these because you kind of already said, but Rat Pack, and then I wrote times 10 so that I could say it 10 more times to illustrate how much they say Rat Pack in this movie to force it down your throat, and it's not even good. But I'll skip that. These girls are immature and annoying, which Bob kind of already said. So Ike is dragging. So to your point, Bob, not only does he force a woman into a sleeping bag while she's kicking and screaming, but Ike is dragging 2 sleeping bags full of wriggling human at high speed through the forest with no issue.
Right.
Yeah. Years of practice.
Yeah. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his hands.
His hands would look. Oh yeah, we went the same place. All right, go ahead, Bob.
All right, this is a little story, a little backstory. One of the actresses who played one of the victims, one of the 3, and one of the actors who played one of the sons. I don't know which one, if it was Adley or Ike. They hit it off and they started dating.
God.
So when they weren't filming, they were going out and hanging out. So even though his character terrorizes and brutalizes her. So anyway, the director was so concerned that neither of them would be able to like project the sense of terror. He asked them to stop dating until the film wrapped, and they actually complied.
They complied. How about that?
Probably for the better, because now the end result's a fantastic movie that we are talking about right now.
That's right.
So
I got that high Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Oh yeah. Points to the movie.
Yeah, I mean higher than I expected.
I'm giving points for I like the radio chatter and all that. The fact that the mother had various different scenarios that they're to act out that have clearly been rehearsed as if they've done them like dozens of times. Like, let's do the damsel in distress trapped in the tree one, and like, oh mom, I don't want to do that one. Like
we're doing the duck and cover.
Yeah, I liked that. That was a nice touch. If this were a more effective satire, which I'm learning it after you guys have talked to me about it for a while, that is not. That was a nice touch. If it was more of that, like, oh mom, like the whole they could have leaned into that a little more instead of all the brutal depictions of sexual assault that we bore witness to.
It was a terrible movie, to your point.
Yes. Okay.
I wrote a couple of things here that I'm going to combine. Texas Chainsaw Amateur is what I wrote because it is, in my opinion, the movie I was foreshadowing that it is a ripoff of is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I might not have had such a strong correlation if there wasn't fake police as well. But it's a house where they just like capture people who go into the woods and stuff, and then when they escape, they like bring them back in by posing as police officers. And at that point, I was like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes were already kind of strong for the how nonchalant these people are about doing what they're doing, this horrible thing that they're doing. But now you're gonna like make them the local police as well. Like now you can totally fuck off. But I also wrote really nice in-home gym for a bunch of bayou bumpkins,
Yeah.
That's why you can carry all those bodies.
Yeah.
Just I mean, saw the rigorous training program.
So there was one scene when I think it was the Hollywood one. It was like creeping through the house, like trying to like, and she stepped on like a cord and like a clock radio like fell down, and like anywhere she moved, though, she was like stepping on stuff. That I'm going to give the movie credit for this one. My wife's mother is close to a hoarder, and the first time I went over their house to like meet the parents, I like put my arm up on the back of a couch and I knocked over like 5 knickknacks.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's so much shit everywhere I moved. I felt like I was gonna knock something over. So they got that just right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. Yeah.
I don't have much left, but I'll keep riffing. But
I do.
I love I did like the Beavis and Butthead vibe. I'm wondering if Mike Judge saw this when he was working on the original concept and was like, those guys are it. You put those guys in front of AC/DC on MTV and have them make fun of it.
You got
and
yourself
it's
a
like $1 million
winner.
show. Yeah, you got yourself a winner. Tell you what.
Ike did
Yeah.
have the big gums.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. But to Beavis and Butthead's credit, they're nowhere near as rapey. Like they want to score, sure,
Yes.
but they've never like raped anyone. So
Yeah.
They want to score. I haven't heard that in so long.
Yeah.
All the girls have the same sleep sack. One of them is orange and the other two are red, but they're literally the same brand. I don't think that's coincidence. I think that's just a low budget, and they just went to like the Walmart equivalent in '81.
The wardrobe and
the
set
same
design person
three-
went to Sears and bought like a 3-pack.
Right. So I thought that was funny, but I also thought while we're on the subject of color that the yellow like acid wash screen transitions were very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
I got one more.
Oh, God.
So we know that they called the one friend weak, in like in a backward way.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But at least they didn't waste time blaming her for taking them there in the first place.
To New Jersey. To camp.
Because
That's true. They
it
could
was totally.
It was her getaway secret weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe do the the mountain mystic creature research and make sure that mountain is not alive with Queenie or half German pit bull, half wolf legend. Where you might actually be eaten by something like of that sort.
Yeah.
I'm going for mountain monsters here or whatever.
Fucking love that show, man. It's
just do your research. Like if you're gonna camp where you think there should be a nice taco stand, but there's really nothing but like a house full of dead bodies and rape doers. I don't know what to call them.
Another Jersey thing, by the way.
I'm not victim blaming, but
carrot and cauliflower. Those are another two that are said dumb from Jersey natives. Sorry, Mom.
But having said that, one hand. Okay. Go ahead.
I technically have one more. It goes toward Rob's characterization of our director. The guy at the Hollywood party snorting cocaine was the director's dad.
That tracks.
And it was real cocaine.
Yeah.
And a real dollar bill. One-handed push-ups are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
There was a time in my life where I could do them. I think I'm too fat now. My arms are still kind of strong. I'm losing muscle mass, but I don't think I can do one-handed push-ups anymore.
I never really tried doing push-ups. I probably couldn't even do 5. I probably couldn't even do 5 regular push-ups. I never tried.
I got really good at push-ups. Alex at Gem at Thimble Island Brewery, where I used to work, told me to do 100 push-ups a day, and I was like, you know what? That sounds probably like a lot to people that don't do push-ups on the regular, but I've always kind of used push-ups as my part of my routine.
I'm a cardio guy, man. Try doing 100 jumping jacks. That'll fuck you up.
Weights.
Do 100 jumping jacks and tell me you don't die when you're done with that.
I'm sure I will, dude. I had my kids in a giant Tupperware bin where we keep Legos, and it's just I was just pushing them around the kitchen today. Right. And you know where in football it's they have to move the 5 padded men all at once. That's what it like to me. I felt like I had the worst workout of my life. I'm going to be walking up the stairs with Jello legs later because I was pushing my kids around the house.
That went somewhere differently than I thought you were saying. You were storing your kids in Rubbermaid bins.
No. They were good tonight.
I got it.
They were good tonight.
Yeah.
But Schaefer for the girls and Schaefer's for the boys. I noticed.
Yeah. They couldn't get that Schlitz
everyone
sponsorship.
Schaefer's.
They couldn't get the Schlitz deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You guys want to add anything else before I go on my lightning round, or what?
Just light us up, buddy.
Lay us up.
The fake cop is very obviously Ike immediately.
Yeah.
How she falls for that, I don't know. It's just laughable. She swings a branch into Ike's face.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like cartoonish and kind of amusing. There was a really big knife at the campsite, you might remember. It's part of the clip that we played earlier, and she just ran right through the campsite without grabbing the giant knife.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
The girls are now willing murderers. I don't care what happened to you or your friend. Killing someone takes a certain personality type that I don't have. I don't think I'd be like smashing people with TVs and shit. But another suicide dive bike. He goes through the top floor through like planks of wood and shit. Yeah, you'd think he'd learn after the suicide dive that led him down a cliff, basically.
Yeah.
Drano drugging dudes mid duel is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just fighting your friend, and you go over there with Drano, and you like somehow irk his neck back enough that you can pour Drano down his throat. I was kind of impressed. Not as impressed as I was by the TV turkey carver combo kill.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took out Ike with a TV and then a turkey carver, and so you get a TV turkey carver combo kill. I mean, I've got two more, and another kill is coming, and this is really epic, I think. But no one ever hears anything or wonders where anyone is in this movie, and that really bothered me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Adley and Mom are downstairs, and Ike is literally other way around. Ike and Mom are downstairs, and Adley is screaming because he just got an axe to his cock, and Mom and Ike can't hear it somehow.
Yeah.
Ike does come up.
Well, they're
at
playing
some point,
Yahtzee,
but
Chris. They're playing Yahtzee.
Right.
It's all
Yeah,
the
that's
TV
true.
and radio
She just
going.
doubled him. Yeah, true. But this is our first kill for the Titscope, guys.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how I twisted my way into this one? We have a kill for the Titscope.
Okay. Go ahead.
It is now an Ass Cheek Arena contender because we had an old lady plastic breast suffocation in this movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The giant gazongas. Yeah.
It was a plastic set of tits that suffocated the mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I had the Titscope out, checking out those plastic bazumbas while suffocation was happening on their behalf. And I've not seen a Titscope murder yet, but it did happen in this movie, which I think makes perfect sense. Like this movie made me feel like I was being suffocated by rape and murder and boobs and stuff, and I didn't feel good about it. And that's the end of my catch-all. So why don't we throw it to what we're watching?
Sure.
It's all you of Earth
If you're not taking our recommendations, then you're
are idiots.
All right. Chris, you want to?
Why doesn't Rob go first?
All right, sure. So Rob, Chris, Bob, let's go clockwise like we've been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Nicolas Cage in Sympathy for the Devil. Fucking phenomenal. Here's what it's about. A guy is driving to the hospital because his wife is in labor. He gets into the parking garage. Nicolas Cage gets in the back seat and pulls out a gun and says, "Drive." And then the next 90 minutes is Nicolas Cage being like Vampire's Kiss level insane. Strongly recommend it.
I definitely saw the trailer for this movie and was interested, and then forgot all about it.
It's solid. It's I mean, there's not much to it. It's a pretty bare bones movie, but like it has some pretty unexpected turns later in it. But it's just Nicolas Cage, like he gets interrupted and he's just like, he like, stares the guy down and he's just like, "You fucking prick," and like turns his way. He's just holding his gun the whole time.
As the devil would do, for sure.
I watched the entire first and only season of That's My Bush. I sent you guys the link on Google Drive. It's a Matt Stone and Trey Parker sitcom. It's a parody of the 80s sitcoms with like, the canned laughter, but it's set in the White House following George Bush and like his marital problems. And one of the early gags is like Laura Bush is mad at George Bush for like prioritizing the presidency over their relationship, and he forgot that he double booked like an abortion summit in like the main dining hall the same night he's supposed to have a date with her. So it's like the 2 dates at prom trope. He's like running back and forth, changing his suit.
Right, yeah.
trying to like be at both things at the same time. Meanwhile, the pro-life and pro-choice people are just fucking strangling each other. It's fantastic. It's a great show. And then I've been slowly working through Steven Seagal's Lawman on Tubi because
God bless you.
All right, so here's the thing: the editing on that is amazing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I had a fun fact about that show, actually. Did you know that Steven Seagal want the Punani?
Yes. But did you know? So,
okay, go ahead.
You know how shows like Cops, they always edit it to make the cops look like more esteemed and professional than they are? Yeah. There's one scene, and this is like straight up Steven Seagal, like, it's reflected in all the movies we've done. He guy gets shot with like shotgun shell in the back. So like it's not buckshot. It doesn't like kill you.
No, it's not lethal. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Steven Seagal, he goes over. He's like lumbers over. He's like, "Are you okay? Are you good? Okay." And then the next scene, like the paramedics are like, "Yeah, he's not paralyzed." And like it comes back to Steven Seagal's like, "Yeah, that's why I kept asking if he could feel his feet." I'm like, "You didn't ask that. You forgot to edit that part back in." So it's like he wants to be the expert, be like, "Oh, it's only a bird shot. You're not going to be paralyzed." That's why I was asking about his feet. And like the other guys are just like looking at each other like, "You didn't say anything about feet." Just then.
Yeah, right. I thought you were going to say that they went back to Steven Seagal and like they accidentally included him sucking down on an air balloon because he like.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. He's like an idiot savant of unintentional comedy. It's like you got.
He really is. Yeah, he really is.
All right, so that's all for me.
Nice. Okay, I watched The Fifth Element again because I just really love that movie. I'm not sure that it'll ever be a good movie for us because I don't think it quite makes it to that level of good movie.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so fucking good though. I really love it, and that's Bruce Willis. I was trying to throw him up on the poll this week with Cosmic Sin, the one that I told you guys about that looks like hot trash and new hot trash. I do kind of want to do some like 2020s because lately we've been like 70s, 80s, 90s only.
Yeah, this is so fun.
So like I do want to do like some stuff for the newer generation. Not that the TikTok crowd is watching Cosmic Sin, but you know what I mean. Just stuff to span the ages of cinema. But that said, here's two things. Have you guys ever seen An Idiot Abroad? It's a television show.
No.
Okay,
I feel like I've heard of it.
Okay, it's hilarious, but nobody knows about it. It is a Ricky Gervais project, and I'm not like a huge Ricky Gervais guy, but I don't hate him either.
Small doses.
He and his friend Steve have a friend and shit. I should Carl Pilkington, I think is his last name. The last name's tough for me. Carl Pilkington, and they send him to the wonders of the world in season 1, and he is just a total moron. So they even called the show that. He didn't know that. It was like Carl Pilkington's 7 Wonders or something.
Yeah.
But he's such like a dumbass that they were going to call the show An Idiot Abroad and didn't tell him that. And then they sent him to the shittiest hotels that they can find near the wonders of the world and make him suffer. And his commentary is just naturally hilarious because he's a good-hearted idiot. And the show is just fantastic. Also, I've been watching season 4 of Jersey Shore. I live in shame. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, God. Okay. Speaking of the TikTok audience, I was duped into watching a movie with Nicole Kidman called Birth. I saw clips on TikTok like left and right, and I'm like, I'm intrigued. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
And boy, it was annoying. It was sold as something interesting. Like this little boy shows up in her life and she's like, I'm actually your dead husband. And she's like, how could you be my dead husband? And he like knows everything about her life.
Yeah.
And you never know quite if he has the spirit of her dead husband. It literally goes nowhere. The child actor, I like child actors. This kid was just flat. It was so boring. Right. So I don't recommend it. But I did watch something from 2011 that I knew was highly rated and it actually was on Tubi. It's called We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Oh, Ezra Miller and John C. Reilly, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but it's on my list, short list.
I like John C. Reilly.
It's worth your time. It's
Okay.
non-linear, like a Pulp Fiction
Okay.
type story.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
based
cool.
on a novel. It's based on a novel. It's about raising a very violent child, but the conflicted feelings you have as parents, like the dad doesn't really want to see it because he doesn't really see it, and the mom sees it but wants to be nurturing and wants to be the thing, and the kid ends up being horrible, and she still has a conflicted care for him, and it's
All right.
very well done. And
Okay.
and the kids who played the child actors of Ezra Miller before he was a teenager were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's kind of
I have a thing for good child actors.
it's kind of on par for how Ezra Miller's life turned out. 'Cause he's a fucking psychotic.
Yeah, he
freak.
really didn't end up doing too well, but he's still one of my favorite American actors.
He's a good. He's good. He was good in Perks of Being a Wallflower. He was good in. I heard the cat movie you're talking about, and he wasn't bad in The Flash. I think people were just like kind of tired of his off-screen antics, and they didn't give him credit where it was due. But he was good in The Flash. I'll go out and say that.
But yeah, I would recommend this, especially since it's on Tubi and you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You guys know how I was offended by the time wasting of all the stuff that they did in this movie to waste time?
Yeah.
John C. Reilly. I'm wondering how you guys feel about him, what your favorite movie is. I'm just going to waste time while I pee.
I mean, I like all the Dr. Steve Brule things. That's what Tim and Eric? Was that on Tim and Eric, or was that his own thing? Or was that like Wonder Shows?
That was Tim and Eric.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
I never saw it. I
Boogie Nights?
I don't like the dumb comedies. I really didn't like Boogie Nights. I feel bad saying that because the director's okay.
Yeah.
But I just I couldn't.
What?
It's kind of like the way my sister used to make fun of me for watching Married with Children when we were kids.
Oh, I love that.
She's
show.
like, I just don't like watching stupid people do stupid things, and that's how I felt about Boogie Nights. It's just the biggest idiots making the biggest idiotic decisions.
Yeah.
And it didn't do it for me.
See, I'm a sucker for a good comedy of errors. So, just the whole. I'm not sure if it was in the cut or in the director's cut, where when Dirk Diggler's in the booth and like John C. Reilly's just yelling at the engineers like, "You did too much acid when you were growing up because your ears are fucked. There's too much bass. If Dirk Diggler says there's too much bass, then you gotta lower the bass." And then
No, that was
they turn it down all the way. Then Diggler comes back into the booth like, "You think there's too much bass on this?" And the engineer's just like, fucking losing his shit.
But I don't go for the Will Ferrell style comedies.
Will Ferrell, he typecast. He got in the whole typecast post SNL treatment, but like when he branches out, like Everything Must Go is really good, and so is
Yes, it is.
Stranger Than Fiction are both good.
Like that was okay.
Dramedies. Like, when Ferrell stopped doing like the washed up sports guy trying to have like a redemption arc movie, because he did like many of those. Once he broke away from that, he started doing good stuff again.
And I like him. Just I don't like the movies they typecast him in.
Yeah. The post SNL trajectory is rough.
I will never watch Step Brothers. I will never watch it.
Yeah. It's got moments. Good. It's one of those. It's got a lot of. It's like a band's album where like there's 16 tracks on it, but there's like 7 bangers. But you have to get through a lot of shit to get to those bangers. Like the highly quotable moments are there, and there's plenty, but like there's a lot of bullshit in between.
It's. I hate to say it. It's funny. There's plenty of good moments in that movie. There's also like a good 40% of it is just cheesy, terrible, not funny bullshit. But like, there's a lot of really funny shit in that movie. And I'm not a huge Will Ferrell guy. I hated him for a while, like everyone did. Kind of the way that you hate the Beatles when you haven't like studied their whole career.
Still don't. I understand. I still don't care for the Beatles. I understand their impact.
I don't either.
And like
I don't either.
Their innovations, but I just
Hey, we agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all think that they're shitty musicians who like did drugs.
The Beatles got popular during the first decade where women were allowed to be horny in public, and that's their entire legacy.
Yeah, it was all timing, right? That's what I've heard. But like they were also like they did span the decades and make hits like in at least three
because they
different
stopped
decades.
playing
You gotta
live
give 'em
after
credit.
they stopped playing live after 1964 because they couldn't hear themselves playing over girls screaming. So like they just stayed in the studio like 24/7 and just belted shit out. So I admire that. But
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't do it for me. You know.
We've really branched out.
All right, let's throw it to back credit names.
Thanks, Chris.
Stupid! Stupid!
Bad credit names.
At 17 seconds.
I mean, it's fucking badass lick though. You gotta
No,
give it
that shit slays. You're good.
Rose Ross.
All right.
I just like it when your last name and your first name are one letter apart.
Yeah.
That was Mother, wasn't it?
Credited
yes,
as,
I think it was. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was like a pseudonym. Yeah.
Ed Battle. Battle.
Okay.
Meta Carter.
All right.
Tony Peacock.
All right.
And then this week's winner, Huckapoo.
Nice. Huckapoo.
Huckapoo.
Seal the deal.
Huckapoo. Huckapoo.
Nice.
All right, offensive minigame.
Say, Lieutenant, to get that funny odor, how could I miss it?
That's the smell of the offensive minigame.
Nice.
Tipsy Torgo, travel bag time. Or the Riga-more-kiss.
The Riga-more-kiss.
Yeah, it's going to be a more offensive movie.
Yeah.
Even though I intentionally left out all of the awful stuff that happened in this movie.
Yeah.
Pajama Peeker or Sexy Strangulation.
The Strangulation.
Strangulations, especially in the
All right,
context.
so we don't need the bonus round, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Little flipperoo. A branch-bodied buddy or touchy Torgo.
Torgo.
Okay, it didn't matter. The more offensive movie is Mother's Day, and rightfully so.
Yes.
But looky here. I've got 5 things that happened in this movie that are offensive that I can use next week if Mother's Day wins. It won't.
All right.
But say it were to win, then I could actually just start pulling from all the really awful shit that happened if it does win.
Yeah.
And by the end of the season, we'll still have fresh stuff, but it's not going to win. So I'm going to have to find new ways of saying touchy Torgo for 6 more episodes this season. So wish me luck.
Right.
All right, let's do the movie comparison.
This gives me a plan.
Let's compare the movies!
All right.
Manos, Hands of Fate versus Mother's Day. Worst of its kind, negative 51.4, and worst for Manos, a clear winner. When it's negative 17.8, and not even the worst for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Pitch. Bob, you win with a 4.75 against Team 4.
Yeah.
Valiant effort by all of us, me mostly, but you win, Bob. Offensive, we just did. Mother's Day is the winner there. Dialogue, what's worse?
Manos.
Agreed.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Production, no budget, low budget, or intentionally trashy?
Budget.
When it comes to production, it's Manos.
Yeah.
I mean, they filmed it with no sound.
They filmed it in 32-second intervals, right? It was a 32-second interval they filmed it off, right?
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah. At most.
That is atrocious. Acting. I'm going to give it a Manos, obviously.
Yeah,
it's Manos.
Why are we even doing
this? We have a demerits.
Talk about padding runtime.
I think the demerits for Mother's Day is more offensive than the most offensive.
Yeah.
More offensive than most offensive.
I'm just going to go with the all the sexual assault that is happening is probably a a fitting demerit for this movie.
Yeah, I'm
A
gonna
rapey
go
rump.
with taco stand.
Taco stand.
Taco.
Not that it
They
matters.
They
But
make their
we
shells
had-
out of cauliflower. All right, sorry, Mom.
Can someone explain to me why we wrote tax-funded torturing of teenagers for Manos: The Hands of Fate?
The cops, because
The
cops are
cops, that's
tax.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're tax-funded tyrants. I think is what we started with,
We
and it made it
landed on, yeah.
torture of teenagers. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Got it. So now we need to discuss what we're doing next week, and we already know that Manos: The Hands of Fate is obviously the worst of the season so far. Maybe will win the whole season, but we do have to consider Dr. Giggles next week.
Chris, you're gonna love this movie.
Submission, Rob.
You're gonna love
yeah,
this movie,
that's funny
Chris.
because I was just saying to Aaron before I got on air how much I'm going to hate this movie and how much I hate half of the movies that you pick for reasons like this.
He speaks exclusively in puns, and like that's what you do. So maybe the mirror's being held. Maybe the mirror's being held too close to your face or something.
Well, I don't know. I tried to. I try to keep it lively on the show. You know.
So does Dr. Giggles, which is why like he's gonna be your dude.
Fuck. Okay, fine. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna be mad about how he's stealing my style. Which
You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it and love to hate it and hate to love it. You're gonna go through that whole range of emotions.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's better than Mother's Day, if that's
Yeah.
true. So let's throw it to Rob to plug the show, and then we'll throw it to Bob for his last word.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I'm trying to be less exhaustive here. Go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com. All the things there that you can click, like TikTok, Instagram, streaming, YouTube, email, it's all there. It's clear as day. Do that. Subscribe. Engage. Talk to us. Request movies. Make fun of all of us. Give us positive reviews. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Hit the notifications. Do all that shit. We have lots of great stuff. We're approaching 150. Is this our 150th episode? I think this is our 150th episode.
This is 150. Yeah.
So, like,
season 99, I think.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in now, here's how it goes. We have a lengthy archive now. If you don't like a movie that we're talking about or have no desire to see that movie, just scroll through our archive or go to the top of the Spotify thing, and there's a little find at the show button, and you can type in like a movie name and see if we've done it. We've probably done it, especially if it's something bad that you're thinking of. So we're at the point now.
It's a bad movie that you want to hear us make fun of. Search it.
Yeah.
It's probably in our archives at this point. We've been doing this for years.
Our loyal legions of tens of followers binge every episode, but if you're not a binge type and like you just like to see what's out there and like you hop from podcast to podcast, we don't care if you're not loyal. Just listen to the ones that you want to listen to. Our feelings won't be hurt. They'll be hurt. I'll cry.
And then we will corrupt you.
But I'll do it off air so
will
you don't
become
feel
a
bad.
loyal listener.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, what are your last words?
Oh, disco
Not
stupid.
to be exhaustive.
Yeah.
Disco is stupid.
See what I did there? All right. Disco is stupid. All right. See you guys next week with Dr. Giggles. You're gonna love Dr. Giggles, Chris. I think you're gonna like it.
I doubt it.
I think you're gonna like it. Bob, have you seen Dr. Giggles? You've seen it, right?
No.
I just know.
I think you're the only one.
I know the box. I worked in a video store when it came out, so I know the box. I know the back. I know the rating.
It's a comedy slasher from the early '90s, so that's what you're getting into.
Yeah.
But all right, see you guys. Bye, Jelly Scoop.
Bye, Jelly Scoop.